up, everyone? Welcome back to Roleplay, going into hour number 2 here, week 36. Neal, take it away.
You wake up.
Okay. As the party's kind of like, I guess, getting all the shit together, I walk over to Horace and I'm like, Horace, last night, crawl for it, wanted to speak with
Bloodsinger.
Bloodsinger. I guess Vincent hears this and chimes in. And I came over and moved him over there so that he could, and then put him back, just so you are aware. Nothing fishy happened. He just wanted to talk to him, so I allowed him to, and that's that.
Okay. After he does that, like after he walks away or whatever, I want to pull out the spear and just ask him about what they talked about.
Do you speak aloud or just in your head?
No, in my head.
The dwarf initially announced that he is the one who fed me to the dragon loin.
Well, you know who your loin master is.
That is precisely what I told him. It seemed that, although I must say, the bond between this cleric and Crawlfort, my brother, is strong. I feel that maybe the dwarf is maybe the one to lead us to the demise of the dragons in the world. Unless you think you can have what it takes.
Well, it is true. He is very devout. I pray really to no one, but rest assured, I believe it will be the party as a whole that will lead to the destruction of dragons, and not just any one of us.
Perhaps, but a good party needs a good leader. Someone with vision, someone with ability, someone with the calm personality to keep people headed straight and true.
I
Tell me,
never.
do you have such talents to truly bring around the death of these dragons? Death of the scourge that plagues the world?
I think the group as a whole does, yes. I just had never considered... I always got the impression that Vincent was the leader of this group. But I've only known them for a short while.
Well, looks can be deceiving.
I'll keep my eye out for that.
After all, it's not a king who blusters about his kingdom, giving orders and dealing out death. The king sits calmly behind, while his men at work are the more active, vocal ones. How I heard it once put best that little dogs yap, big dogs just sit and watch.
That's really stupid, no.
As I'm walking away from Horace, I turn and be like, "Oh, Horace, I've got some bunny loins over here I cooked up. If you want some, the loin master's got you, bro."
I love me some loin. I would love some. I'll put the spear away at this point when he yells.
I'm
back to
like,
me.
no eating of animals that Asriel gives to anyone ever.
But it's loin though.
What if it's ferret loin?
Any ferret loin is fine.
I turn to her and be like, "I haven't gotten to Mr. Mugwiggles just yet," and then kind of like say that with an evil grin.
If you ever touch Mr. Mugwuggles, I will not hesitate to do what you do to him to you.
That's...
I literally just burst
I will
out
not
laughing.
hesitate to do to him what you did to you when I did you.
Asriel
with
just
him.
burst out laughing. And he's just like, "Oh, Abigail, you're such a fucking kidder." And then I start getting ready to leave the camp.
Yeah, so Neal, we just pack up and this conversation happens and whatnot, and then we're gonna go.
Okay. We pack up and continue heading down the mountain. Oh shit. The weather turns foul.
How
Yesterday
foul?
was a bright sunny day. Today, when you wake up, it's kind of cloudy and overcast, and the winds are picking up. After half an hour of walking down the mountainside, the winds really start to pick up, and it starts to rain. Something cold and icy.
By the way, how much HP was gained throughout the party? Just one? Or
Yeah, everyone gains 1 HP.
okay.
Well, except for Azrael, who fell and took a bunch of damage. He gains no HP. Because then you were technically, like, you need a full 24 hours of healing between being injured and blah, blah, blah.
Understood.
So everyone else gains 1 HP.
Okay.
So I'm at 35 now.
I'm at 33.
I'm at the big old number of 9.
Tanking.
Yep. I'll be
What am
first
I
in
at,
the
Neil?
fight.
Yeah, Horace, you're at 17 to 34.
Okay.
Okay. So everyone, it makes the going a lot harder with the rain and the clouds and the cold, especially for those of you wearing metal armor. It just like chills right to the bone. You know, all your heat just like gets sucked out. And you keep going down the mountain, and it gets to a point where, in this weather, with this rain and this, you know, the chilliness of it, your fingers are freezing. You're having a hard time like holding on to things. You guys have to stop. You just like you
Okay.
can't make it much farther after a few hours.
We find the best shelter then and just kind of make camp within reason.
Okay.
It's still early in the day. It's before noon, and you try and make shelter. What sort of shelter? Just like find an outcropping, or
Just out of the way of
Whatever
the
we
rain,
can,
the
yeah.
best we can make.
Whether it's in a, if we could find like a cave, I would assume that would be best, or under some sort of rock, or awning, or some shit like that.
okay, you find no such thing. The best you can do is kind of like stack up, or use your combined strength to move some kind of large rocks here and there, and kind of create a wall, and then lay something down over it. So you find some shrubberies and rip them up. It's like a super crude shelter. Water is leaking through pretty easily, but it's better than just being out in the rain. The wind is howling, and it's just a miserable, miserable experience on this mountainside.
Can we start a fire? Or no.
Does anyone have a fire building proficiency?
Horace might.
Not me.
I'm looking.
I don't believe I do.
Ah, here it is. Fire building. No, I'm just kidding. I don't
Okay.
think I have one. Nope.
All right. Then it's too wet and cold out for anyone to start a fire. Well, I guess not cold, but although everything is wet, there's no way you can get any dry wood for a fire.
Okay. Well, I guess we just sit there freezing our asses off then.
Yeah. It's just
Abigail
a miserable
goes close
experience.
to like Horace, I guess. She's like,
Huddling for warmth.
yeah.
I see that and I start scooching towards Vincent. My little baby arms and little baby feet. I'm just like, yeah.
We all huddle together. It's not that. I mean, that's pretty common in
Sure.
Yeah.
any kind of traveling group.
Yeah. Abigail makes sure she's not next to the dwarf.
This seems like the kind of weather that would probably have finished off Mr. Tugwiggles. I'd imagine that, right?
It
Do you
would
say
have,
this
at the
aloud?
very least, given him
No.
arthritis or something.
I
Okay.
wouldn't say that. I'm just wondering if that would be the condition.
I
Okay.
say, does
She's in
anyone...
the pouch warm between Horace and I.
I bring up the fact, does anyone have any anything to eat or anything like that? Any energy for warmth? Or are we just going to sit here huddled till this passes?
You
Neil,
say
I
that?
have a quick question. How much
Mhm.
time has passed since I met the party?
You met the party down here. Did you guys town portal your way over towards
I have not had my spells since I have known
The High
Horus.
Claris Tower? No, you guys walked to the High Claris Tower, didn't you?
Yeah, I have not had any spells since meeting Horus.
So you guys met in Finnbark. So it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, you know what? We have a freaking calendar that tells us this shit. Some brilliant person, and hopefully he's keeping this stuff up to date. The hell was Horus met? Miss Dragon, Bregor, funeral, meeting Horus on the 9th of February. And this is... It looks like it's been 30 days.
Okay.
You've been there with them for a month.
Cool. I was just curious.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess just as part, we all sit there and try to stay warm through this terrible weather, for however long that takes, or at least till nightfall. Then we'll try to do something else.
Cool. Okay, so you guys just kind of ride out the bad weather. It's pretty terrible. Abigail, do you ever look in on Mr. Tugwoggles?
Yeah,
Mr. Mogwoggles?
Tugwoggles.
Tugwoggles? Okay.
The first.
Mr. Tugwoggles the first. You look in on him, and he's not moving for all. You can feel his little heart beating like a mile a minute.
God damn it.
What do you do
sorry.
now?
Keep going.
So I take him out and I'm like keeping him, trying to get him to be warm and stuff.
I say
pull him
no,
out.
no thanks, I'm not hungry.
I don't say anything.
Okay. Over the next, you're holding him while you and Horus stick together for warmth, and at a certain point, his heart goes from racing to slower and slower and slower to it's really slow,
Like, hey, I think I calmed it down. It worked.
and then it stops.
Horace! Horace, check Mr. Tugwoggles. What's going on?
So she hands me the the ferret, and I examine the ferret, and I say, "Well, I think it's time to give him to Azrael."
Is
What?
it dinner time? We got dinner. Fuck yeah!
What?
Azrael, the dwarf.
What? What are you talking about?
Just let.
This is so awkward.
My
I
eyes are
think you're-
just wide as shit. I'm just like looking back at the ferret, and then looking at Horus, and then looking back at the ferret, and looking at Horus.
I think I think he's passed.
No, that's impossible. He's still so young.
He's not really that young though.
Mr. Tugwoggles, eat a little piece of food.
You guys are all aware of this happening.
Oh yeah, I'm watching it with big eyes.
Mr. Tugwoggles. Oh, I think he's dead.
I'm glad you don't seem too broken up about it. Let's eat. Go to grab. I like reach for him.
Abigail kind of waits like for a few minutes. She's just like holding it. She's like, and she just like breaks down and starts crying. And she's like, "It's your fault, Horace. It's your fault."
She's blaming me.
Yeah. I told you to save him. You're trying to be Bregor. Why are you trying to be Bregor? Who are you to come into our group? The ferret was fine before you came in.
Well, first of all, I don't.
I
don't
lean
know
towards
Gregor.
Vincent. I'm just like, bitch is crazy.
I don't know how to be like somebody that I've never met.
You're an elf too. You're trying
Yes.
to be him.
So are you trying to be like Bregor? You're an elf.
No, I'm a girl.
Okay.
You came in. You were like trying to be nice to me, and then you seduced me with your elvish charms, like Bregger did. You're trying to be Bregger. I don't know why we accepted you so easily.
I kind of look back at Vincent and Azrael, and I just kind of like shrug at them. I'm like, I don't.
Shrug too.
He looks at me, and I pat the side next to him and be like, "Come here, come here." Come closer. We'll keep warm.
I'm like, fine, you guys all stick together. I'll just stay over here with my dead ferrets.
I'm like, well, wait, I mean, we can eat them if you want.
No! I'm gonna bury him properly.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go under the rain, like, as far away as possible while not being, like, super fucking far. I'm gonna go bury the ferret.
In the ground this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you go bury him, did you say?
Yeah, I go bury the ferret.
Okay, it's a little bit... You have to leave the safe... Well, you have to leave the safety of your shelter, because your shelter's not big. It's tiny.
Yeah, I'm doing it, and I'm making sure that the dwarf doesn't really see where I'm going.
I'm gonna see where you're going, aren't I? Like,
well, she walks outside of the shelter, so she could, go behind one of the crude makeshift walls or piles of bramble.
oh, okay, all right.
It's wet and freezing out there. You've noticed that the rain is interspersed with a little bit of hail here and there, and you dig a little hole in the ground. It can be difficult to do, but you bring a dagger with you and dig a hole a few inches deep and lay the ferret in there and bury it back up.
Goodbye, Mr. Tugwogglers. You have been a nice friend.
Oh my god, it's The Shining.
And then I just go back to the shelter and I don't say anything.
Okay, everyone else who had been starting to dry out a little bit, or at least warm up, you're now freezing cold and whatnot, but whatever. The rest of the day is pretty rough. The storm continues into the night, but breaks as the sun comes up the next day. No HP is gained that day.
So we just stay in this little circle then.
Yeah, you guys are just miserable and cold and freezing and shaking all day long. If the storm had continued for a couple more days, I would have started making you guys do constitution checks. But
Gotcha.
You're fine.
Well, we know Horace has fantastic constitution. Actually, I guess Abigail knows that, and her child. We
what the hell's going on with
shake
your
it out.
webcam, Jeff?
Continue to walk, then Neil.
Okay. You guys dry off as best you can, and start heading down the mountain. You're all pretty hungry, but you have some food with you. And your next day down the mountain goes okay. It's overcast, and there's a chilly wind, but it's much better than the freezing rain and harsh winds of the day before. Yeah. No serious problems. You take your time everywhere you go. You don't make very good progress, but you make progress. And run into no more issues of difficult passes. I mean, lots of difficult passes, but nothing that you have to make rolls over. You make camp that night, go through more or less the same process. Azrael, you get nothing unusual from Crawl Fort tonight. Just the normal, good night, sweetie, good night, sweetie.
Yep.
Or whatever you guys do when you go to bed.
I call him Crawley.
Crawley.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Abigail just doesn't say a word but follows the group.
Okay. All right. The next day arises, and you make your way down the mountain the rest of the way. The rest of the way down the mountain is actually fairly easy. The mountain becomes more gentle. It becomes less sheer drops and careful passes, and the path that you've run across a goat trail or a mountain lion trail or some sort of animal trail that provides a fairly safe and easy way. Switch backs a little bit, goes around here, up over this thing, down over that thing. and you make it down to the foothills before the night ends. As you're walking down the mountain, starting into the foothills, you can see the smoke from a few fires, kind of spaced out, which you think are probably towns based on the maps that you've seen and the maps that you have. You're not sure which town it would be, but you can definitely see a town is this direction.
We don't see any remnants of like a caravan or anything like that?
No.
No tracks?
No.
Okay. Well,
I guess we head in the direction of the smoke then.
yeah. Yeah, we should at least head towards what we think are more people.
Okay. You guys make camp, blah, blah, blah. Morning rises and you start heading out for the next town.
So is that 3 HP gained? Since it's been 3 nights?
You had, 2 days of actual walking when it's not freezing rain and sleet. So 2 HP.
Okay.
So that's
I'm at 11
you
now.
to 11. That brings Vincent to full. That brings Horace to 19. And by the end of the next day, you manage to walk into a town. You're all weary from the trip. You could really use a good night's rest and a warm bed, maybe a warm drink, strong drink, some nice food instead of this like crappy goblin and orc food that you've been eating. You know, it's edible, but it's not great.
Sure.
But you walk into a small town. Well, a medium-sized town.
One of the first things we ask is what town is this, obviously.
Yeah, we go to the guard and ask,
First guy.
like, what?
First person you walk across, you ask him, says, "This is the town of Rydell. Where are you guys coming from? There's no road out that way."
Friedel. We're just journeymen, friend. Is there a place with delicious apple juice, a nice bed for us to lay our heads down?
I don't know about the apple juice, but where there's an inn in town. Did you come over the mountain?
Yes. Yes, we did.
Wow.
What do you mean you don't know about apple juice, by the way? What does that mean?
Well, I mean, I know what apple juice is. I don't know if any place around here has apple juice.
I don't. Vincent doesn't laugh though. He's got a very grave look on his face.
He's just staring at her and staring back at us. We're like, oh.
Where's the inn, friend, or a tavern of sorts?
He kind of points down one of these little shitty town roads. It says, if you go like a block or two, they'll be on your left. It's called the
Thanks.
Smoldering Fire.
All right. Make our way over there, I guess. Walk in, grab a table.
It's a medium-sized town, but there's not a lot of people about, even though it's kind of evening-ish. Maybe a dozen people in the room that's designed to have a comfortable 30.
Crap. I approach the bartender and ask if they know of the advancing army in the world, or if they know anything about an army here in the north.
Well, we heard that to the south of the Highvale mountain range that there's been a untold horror that has arisen, and we've seen dragons in the skies, which is scary enough, but none of them have attacked. It's been fairly peaceful up here. I think everything's been kept to the south. Mountain range protects us from the troubles of those crazy southerners.
Do we know if this is part of is this part of the Stormtide Kingdom? Like, is this the same? I guess not region, but
No. We fall under the power of Altheris.
sorry, I'm looking at the map. Okay.
It's just directly north of.
Yeah, it's just directly north. I say, well, are there dragons up here? There's dragons where we came from, all over the place. Have you guys seen
We've
any?
seen
up
them
here?
in the skies. We saw a few white dragons flying about. That's it. There have been no dragon attacks. There have been no armies. We keep hearing rumors, though, but nothing has actually stabilized. You guys heard about anything?
Well, we killed one in the mountains, but
You killed a dragon of the mountains?
I say, yeah, that guy right there, and I point towards Vincent. I say he took care of him, and 2 quick moves. It was no problem. I'm
Well,
trying
hell, your drinks are on me for the night, he says.
Okay, good. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I say, friend, do you happen to know of, a party and we're looking for these weapons. We're looking for one in particular up here. And I kind of think back, is it Whirlwind?
Yep.
Okay. And I say, do you know of any of have you heard the legends of the ancient draconic weapons? Particularly one, a short bow by the name of Whirlwind.
Can't say I have.
Well, thank you for the drinks and the information. We'll probably be here a couple days. If you
Well, if you guys don't mind sitting around, I'd love to hear the stories about how you killed the dragon. We don't actually have to roleplay this out, but the innkeeper wants talk to you and hear your stories.
Sure, yeah, no problem. We'll come join us at the table. We'll tell you tales. So he sits down, and I'll just tell him the tales of it, unless someone else wants to. And then
Abigail doesn't talk and drinks a lot.
Okay.
What do you mean you drinks a lot? How much does she drink?
She's gonna get hammered.
Okay.
Is that? She means the drinks. The Horus part that comes after, I guess.
Ha 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 ha. She's not talking though, so technically she's probably gonna get.
Horus prefers it when she doesn't talk, actually. But again, you guys have to roleplay that part out. I'm starving because we've eaten shitty food, and that was a hard travel. Like I guess we've almost never done. We usually have pretty light travel, so I feast on pretty good food. Order the good stuff that they have, and then as the guys sitting there chilling, and Abigail's getting silently hammered. Again, this is before. This is the drinking one. I tell the group we should rest up for a day or two, but we need to get back in that mountain and start looking for Whirlwind. We're not going to find answers here, I don't think.
I definitely agree. We should perhaps go up at least one town. I mean, it's only a day or two's journey to Altharis, and see if they have any scholars up there that might know more information.
Sure. Fair enough. I'm going to rest up, friends. I've eaten my fill, and now I'm going to sleep for a day straight, so if you need me, you know where I'll be.
Sounds good. I guess, Vincent, you leave the table? You get up and leave?
Yep.
Horace, I kind of turned to Horace, and I'm just like, so Horace, how's it going?
It's pretty good, all things considered, although I'll be honest, I was a little confused by Abigail's behavior when we were out on the mountain after her affair at that. I guess she was really attached to that thing, huh?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, she gets pretty pissed off when I eat that meat. I just do it to give her a hard time. There's no malice towards it,
Yeah.
So, I'm just curious. What you seem to have a little bit of, or I guess a lack of faith in me. It seemed back up in the mountain.
What do you mean, lack of faith in you?
I kind of, or Azrael looks down, and he's just kind of like, I think that from my point of view, it looks like you don't trust any of us except for Vincent.
I don't really know where you're getting that from.
I'm just kind of like, all right, okay, well, I just want it to be said. You don't have to necessarily have a discussion, but there's no reason not to trust in the rest of the party. Sure, we've got a crazy drunk elf over there who seems to be reconciling with the loss of a dear friend. I've got my own share of problems, of course.
Indeed.
And I'm sure you do too as well.
I will be honest, I wouldn't have sought out this party if I didn't think it was a capable party. And so in the respects of if I think the party would be able to rid the land of dragons and this dark army, I have no worries there. If that's what you're talking about.
You say sought after. What what is it that? How did you hear about us? What is it that kind of drew you to us? You never
Well,
really told us.
Actually, it was a bartender who pointed me towards Abigail early on. I didn't seek you guys specifically, but he pointed me in her direction, and one thing led to another.
You pointed to her direction. I'm saying. You know what I mean?
For what means did he point to Abigail? Was it skilled fighter, a fellow elf? What was really? I'm just trying to see kind of what We've been with you for a month, and hell, we don't know anything about you.
Sure. I was asking him about skilled fighters who were tasked in destroying dragons and this plague upon the land. So I guess it was a little of both. And he pointed me in Abby's direction. She just happened to be at the bar where I was asking the bartender. And
Understood. Well, it was good talking with you, friend. I need to get some sleep. I think I'm a little bit worn out, especially after I almost died.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very glad that you are alive and kicking.
Me too, friend. Hey, why don't you go see about Abigail?
Can't say the same for that ferret, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll go back and dig him up in warmer days. I want that jerky. Anyways, I say, why don't you go hang out with Abigail? I'll see you later. And I get up and go upstairs.
Okay.
Okay.
So I don't go right over to Abigail like he mentioned, but I'll just order a drink at the bar and chill.
Any other actions that you guys want to take? Abigail, Vincent?
I'm upstairs sleeping.
I make a shrine, of course, before going to sleep.
Also,
Okay.
I talk to my I pull out my spear.
Which one?
Just in the bar?
Well, I'm the loin master, Neal.
Just
The
like
spear
that.
on my back.
Oh, cool. I thought you might have taken the spear out of your loin, since you're a loin master. Good.
No.
Okay.
And I ask him. This is. I'll just say that all talks to my weapon are in my head unless I state otherwise. But I ask him if I ask him again what he said to Azrael the night that he, took watch and took all the weapons and spoke to them.
Sorry. Can you repeat the question?
I'm asking the spear again what he said to Azrael the night that he was keeping watch.
But can I get the exact wording of yours? Unless that is your exact wording.
What did you say to Azrael? I'll just say.
Okay. Azrael proclaimed himself Loin Master, and I said that I know the Loin Master's hand when I feel it.
Yes.
Other than that, we shared no words.
Does Azrael have a way of speaking to you, even if he's not holding you through maybe some other
Azrael
means?
and I have spoke about that once, that I recall.
Right. And
Actually, JP, you haven't touched Bloodsinger before that, have you?
No, I think that was the only night. Or the only time.
Yeah.
can he speak to you? Could he speak to you right now if he wanted to?
Azrael?
Yes.
Not to the best of my knowledge, no.
Okay.
Why do you ask such questions? Does your faith waver?
My faith in what?
In me. You ask questions as if I collude with an enemy.
No. Azrael is absolutely a friend. I want to know. He was asking me questions today, and it made me think that he could speak to you through some other means.
Curious.
Okay. I will conclude my conversation, finish my drink, and just head up to bed.
Abigail? What does drunken Abigail do?
When she gets really tired and really drunk, she's gonna head out to bed alone.
Okay.